What's up? It's Qasim. I know you know that. I'm in my weekend gear. I wanted to do another ad hoc live because I didn't get to everybody last time. So I apologize if I didn't get to you. I've got some requests to do some more hot seats. I'd like to do the live hot seats first. So if you want to drop your URL in the chat, do that. And I'll be critiquing some websites, giving you some advice. And then I can also go back and look at some of the folks that posted too, just while I'm waiting. A really cool announcement that I want to make is we just hit 1,000 members in the group. And we're actually only halfway through our ad spend, which is really cool too. Well, a little bit more than half. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we get at least 2,000 people in this group in this challenge, I should say. And if we do, like it's gonna be insane. It's gonna be insane. So there's gonna be so much value to bring. I'm really excited for y'all to honestly to see the value of this content. Like we have been working so hard to crack this code, and now that it's been cracked and we're learning more and we're gaining more steam and more momentum and we're making more and more stores successful, I can't wait to see what y'all do with this content. I'm so excited. I see Contrast Market is here. What's up? If y'all want me to do a hot seat for you, drop a link to your web address in the chat, and I'll start pulling up some hot seats. I do want to mention just a little bit of housekeeping. The event starts Monday, okay? So we've got 2 days. The event starts Monday, 11:30 a.m. Pacific, 2:30 p.m. Eastern, and it's gonna be absolutely fire. We're going to start on time. So I know a lot of people when they're running events like this, they'll kind of buy time for themselves, just letting people trickle in. I don't like that. I want to be respectful of your time. I want to be respectful of the people that show up and actually show up when they're supposed to. So we're going to start on time. This is live, and the recordings aren't free, y'all. So if you want to buy the recordings, buy the Backstage Pass, that's great. If you don't, show up because we're going to dive right into it. I'm going to go over, I've got 8 slides that I'm going to go over just in terms of some housekeeping, showing you the itinerary, showing everything that's in queue, and then we're going to dive right into the training, right out of the gate. It's May 10th, May 11th, May 12th. Same time every day, 11:30 a.m. Pacific. We're going to go for about 90 minutes, maybe a little bit longer if we can squeeze it. And then if you bought a Backstage Pass, we'll be sending out the Backstage Pass link afterwards. It's going to be a Zoom meeting link. It's going to be super intimate. I'm really excited. So please make sure you show up and show up ready to work. Like I want you to follow along with this. I'd love for you to get to the end of this event and actually have your smart shopping campaign built. And that's going to be very possible. Think of this as a workshop. We're going to be workshopping with you. A couple more notes. I want you to ask questions. As a matter of fact, we are going to bonus in the best. Whoever has either the best question or the most thoughtful comment is going to get a free Backstage Pass. We're going to have one winner every single day. We're going to bonus you in on the Backstage Pass. And if you've already bought the Backstage Pass, then we'll refund you. So if you're thinking about the Backstage Pass and you want to buy it, go ahead and buy it. Don't worry. If you are one of the people that get the bonus, then we're just going to refund you what you paid for. But I really want to encourage people to ask questions, comment, encourage each other. And so I've got a couple of people on staff that are going to be watching the chat, fielding the chat, and whoever has the best question, the most thoughtful comment is going to get a free Backstage Pass, which includes the recordings. That's going to be really valuable. It's $95 value. You're going to get that absolutely free. We're also, this is the thing that maybe I'm most excited about. We're going to give away a free gift at the end of every day. At the end of every day, we're going to give away something. I hope that y'all are pretty impressed by what we've pulled together. We've got some sponsors that have thrown things on the table. So you're going to get some free software subscription, which is going to be pretty cool. There's a major software out there that you have to have if you want to be really successful and scale. And we've got a gift coming to you from that perspective. We've got some. I won't let too many of the cats out of the bag. But one of the things that I'm most excited about is we have a speaker. Let me read his bio without giving him away. We've got a guest speaker coming. He's a global authority in Shopify sales and marketing. He's the co-founder of, I won't say it yet because I don't want to give it away, but it's the premier training and coaching company for Shopify stores. He's helped hundreds of Shopify merchants scale their stores. He's one of only 3 Platinum Privy partners in the world, which probably means you can figure out who he is pretty quickly. He's been featured on Shopify Compass, Klaviyo Bootcamp, Traffic and Conversion Summit, which is the biggest marketing conference in North America. And we're going to have him come in as a special guest, and he's going to teach you how to improve sales on your site using 4 different on-site offers. Last year, they generated $5.6 million in 1 year using these ultra-specific but really high-value tactics. And we're bringing him in because here's the interesting thing, y'all. We're paid traffic drivers, okay? Me and my business partner, John, we drive traffic for a living, but we drive traffic to a store that we have no control of. I don't build Shopify stores. We do some CRO recommendations. CRO, by the way, is conversion rate optimization. So we'll make recommendations on our client stores, but we don't build these stores. Like, the expectation is you created the product and people want to buy it. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to bring this thought leader, and this is actually selfish for me. I wanted to bring in a guy that will make sure that your store is positioned to sell. That when people jump on your store, when the traffic lands on your store, they're going to buy what it is that you're selling, because all that does is make me look good. As a traffic driver, I want to drive traffic to something that's going to convert. So I went and I got the best guy in the world, y'all. He's the best in the world. You probably have seen him speak before if you're in the Shopify space anywhere. Global authority in Shopify. Really amazing human. He's going to come in and he's going to do a special guest spot, and he's going to do live Q&A session at the end. And y'all, there's no pitch fest. He's not going to try to sell you anything. There's no bait and switch. He's a buddy of mine. He's doing this as a personal favor, and he's going to do a guest spot. Now, here's the interesting thing. I'm not going to tell you what day he's coming. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want you to show up. You don't get anything out of this if you don't show up. I want you to show up, and I want you to stay the entire time. So if you show up and you stay the entire time, you're going to be impressed, because we got free gifts at the end of every session. The gifts are only available to folks that show up live and stay the whole time. We have a backstage pass winner every single day. And we've got an amazing guest, and we might have more. Who knows? We might chopper a couple other people in there. Folks that, again, you're going to be really impressed by. You're going to be really impressed by the quality of this content. I already know that. So I'm so excited, y'all. I'm so thrilled that you're here. We just hit 1,000 members. Can you freaking believe that? Like, how amazing. What an amazing world we live in. Let me just share this with you. This just happened, by the way, just a minute or two ago before I went live. How do I share my screen? I'm supposed to be a digital marketer, and I don't even know. Look at this. Here we are. 1,000 members. 3X Shopify Challenge, 1,000 members. And then look at, what an amazing amount of just love flying back and forth. We got 928 comments on this. And y'all, by the way, if I haven't been getting back to you, I'm so sorry. I've got 2 members of my staff helping, which has been just amazing. You're going to get your free gift instantly. If you comment, it's coming. It comes via email. We were setting out via direct message, but then Facebook dinged us. We've never done this before, y'all. We've never done an event this big. So Facebook was like, hey, you can't DM that many people. And so now we're pushing those free gifts off via email. So if you haven't gotten yours yet, we're playing a little bit of catch up. You're going to get it, I promise. So sorry that's taken me a minute. And I'm sorry I'm not able to respond to everybody. Like, some of what I'm seeing here is so cool and so inspiring. Some of these stores, some of what you're doing is so amazing. And you know what? There's a consistent narrative. There's a consistent theme over and over and over again. The theme is freedom. I keep hearing people talk about how they're going to use this to free themselves up. Maybe it's freeing yourself up from a job that you don't necessarily love or aren't engaged in. Could be freeing yourself up location-wise, like you want to be able to move and travel. Financial freedom is a really big one, recurring theme. There's sort of 3 facets of freedom for entrepreneurs, right? It's time freedom, financial freedom, location freedom. And you might want one of those. You might want all of them. I'm not here to sell you on dreams or make promises, but I will say that traffic is the lifeblood of any business, and being able to successfully drive traffic to your Shopify store is going to help you on that endeavor. I'm not going to do anything for you. You're the one that's going to be the success, but I think that we can help. And it's not, I know we have been successful with, it's a countless number of case studies now, y'all. I've got the data. So can't wait to help you with this. Can't wait to see what y'all do with this content. Let's dive into hot seats. Let's do some hot seats. Oh, by the way, before I forget, let me show you one more thing. I went off and I got 3 of my clients, and I went and I got 3 clients. The prerequisite was they had to be Shopify store owners, and they had to have built a multi-million-dollar business from scratch. And I posting these interviews 1 a day for 3 days. So I posted one yesterday, George Milton over at Yellowbird Salsa. I posted one today. Rachel owns Yellow Leaf Hammocks. It's funny that they're both yellow. I don't know why that is. That just happened. Rachel built a multi-million-dollar business. Yellow Leaf Hammocks has been featured on Shark Tank twice, and they're amazing. And what's even more amazing about them is she has taken 250 women out of poverty. She's taken 250 women in Thailand. And she's taken them from making less than $1 a day on average. And now she pays them a middle-class wage. They get to work a solid 9 to 5 instead of, 7 days and 12 hours the way that they were working, putting kids through school. She's changing lives in the most impressive way. And she's doing it while making a ton of money for herself and her and her husband. They've got this amazing business, and the return on ad spend is insane. They're one of our highest performing campaigns. She's got this phenomenal business. And in this interview, she drops so many pro tips, like her value bombs. And it's not a long interview, y'all. I think it's 15, 20 minutes maybe. In 15 minutes, spend the 15 minutes watching this video. It's fire. Just tip after tip after tip after tip, like just telling you what it is that she would do differently, mistakes that they made along the way, things that have worked out really well for them. So you've got that interview. And then I also did an interview with George that's really worth watching. This dude started cooking salsa in his kitchen, and now he's got the fastest growing salsa brand, or one of the fastest growing salsa brands in the world. Major business. He's really, really crushing life. I'm trying to figure out, go through the feed and you can find it. You're probably better at Facebook than I am. I don't really use Facebook as well as I should. Which again is funny, thinking I'm supposed to be a digital marketer. But there it is. Bam. So here's a great interview. This one's a little bit longer. How long is this one? 20 minutes. Again, amazing pro tips from a guy. Y'all, he's built a multi-million-dollar business from scratch, from nothing. And all he does is go through and he tells you everything that he'd be doing differently. So make sure you're taking advantage of that. I've got one more coming for you tomorrow. This one's exciting because he's definitely, I think, of the three, probably making the most money. So that's cool to see. He started from nothing, and it's a side hustle. It's a side hustle. He does this on the side. He does this alongside his other business, which is also really, really successful. So really interesting guy. Older. No, I can't say older gentleman. He's not older, but he's a little bit older than our two previous avatars. I'm gonna get myself in trouble here. And I kind of liked that. I liked the graybeard scenario. I felt like I was really being, I was getting information. It was wisdom. I was getting wisdom, which I really, really appreciated. Yeah, somebody's asking for links. Let me just drop these links into chat right now. Thank you for that, Fresh Cat Mushrooms. That's a good call. I might as well just give you all the links here. I hope you can see those links. If you can't, go into the Facebook group. Oh, and by the way, if you're not in the Facebook group, if you haven't registered, go to 3xshopify.com to register, because I know I'm streaming on YouTube right now as well. So go to 3xshopify.com, register for the event. You'll get a link to the Facebook group. Join the private Facebook group. That's where everything's happening. We're going to go live into the Facebook group on Monday. I'm also going to share a Zoom webinar link if you want to join the webinar. And that's just because the webinar might be a little bit more consistent of an experience. Facebook can kind of have some starts and stops. And so we wanted to make sure that we weren't relying solely on Facebook, especially because we want the recordings to be intact. So you can see it on Facebook. You can join the webinar. The webinar link will be inside of Facebook, though. So just make sure you're in Facebook when the time comes, Monday at 11:30 a.m. Pacific. And that's where everything's going to start. The questions now, because we're going to have 2,000 people in this event, y'all. So 2,000 people, that's a lot of cats to herd. I want you to ask your questions. We're not going to get to them in real time. It's not going to be immediate right out of the gate. Instead, what I'm doing is I've got a couple members of my staff watching, and we're going to catalog the questions. And we're going to look for consistency. Now, every now and then, we might, somebody's going to ping me and say, "Hey, dude, you got to pause. Y'all just didn't explain that well." So your questions may be addressed in real time, but for the most part, what we're going to do is we're going to identify the questions that are being asked, and then based off of the questions that we get the most, the very last day, we're going to go through and address all of the major questions that you have. So be patient with us. Teaching 2,000 people something is hard. We've got newbies and we've got grizzled veterans, and we want to be able to provide all y'all value. So if you don't mind, please be patient, and if you can be patient, I'm grateful, and what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we get as many of those questions addressed as we possibly can. If you bought the Backstage Pass, you're going to have a little bit more in the way of, just to put it bluntly, attention, because we're going to be able to get to your questions live and directly. And the Backstage Pass, by the way, is a Zoom meeting, so we're going to be cameras up, face-to-face. It's going to be awesome. So I'm not seeing any URLs in chat. If you want a hot seat, drop your URL in chat. Other than that, let me go find. I just saw somebody say I'm a noob. That's okay. Honestly, noobs are my favorite. Noobs are my favorite because you don't have any bad habits yet. There's so many times where people come and they hire us and they want us to do, they run their ads for them, and then they start telling me how to run ads, and like explaining to us what it is that, and I'm just like, you need to back all the way off right now, because there's not very much in life that I am this bullishly confident about But when it comes to, this particular facet, I'm just like, look, we got this, and you need to take my word for it. And by the way, for those of you that have run ads in the past, you're not going to like a lot of what we have to say. It goes against the grain. It goes against the grain. But by the way, that's why most people haven't made smart shopping work. That's why most people, if you look at, all these people talking about smart shopping online, like, oh yeah, I tried smart shopping and it didn't work. That's because you're following Google's rules. Google lies. They don't even know they're lying. Google lies. If you ever listen to a Google consultant, watch them tank your campaign. It's abysmal. It's insane. How many people, get phone calls from Google consultants that tell them to, just a couple of tweaks too is funny. That's all it takes. Google people take a couple of tweaks on your campaign and bam, it just plummets. And that's the education that you're following. So if you've tried smart shopping in the past and it hasn't worked, it's because Google's teaching you the wrong way to do it. We found the right way through massive trial and error. All we've done, y'all, is make mistakes over and over and over again. I'm just a better failure than you are, but I'm going to help you save yourself from experiencing my failures. So I've got a couple of hot seat requests here from some peeps that were on the last call. If you're on this call live, we've got 16 people right now, y'all. This is amazing. If you're on this call, it's a Saturday. What are you doing listening to me on a Saturday? You've got better things to do on a Saturday. Thank you so much. I'm so flattered, so grateful. But if you want to drop your URL in the chat, I'd rather get to the live people. But for my folks that were with me live last time that I couldn't get to, I'm going to go through your site now. I'm just trying to find a couple of more. Well, let me do what I've got. Let's see. Somebody said, Fresh Cap said, we hired an agency once and ended up getting way better results with just smart shopping and basically no management. Yeah, agencies, they just over-optimize things. Militia says, we need a Sully t-shirt that says, you're doing it wrong. We do need that t-shirt. You're absolutely right. All right, I can't get that site open because it's not available. Here's a site, saltysuds.com. saltysuds.com. So first, now some of this critique isn't ultra applicable because smart shopping sends people straight to your product page. So I should be going straight at your product page, but I'm going to give you an overall website critique as well, just because A, I'm here, I might as well provide that value, and B, people will come back. Smart shopping has this massive brand lift. Whenever you're running smart shopping, you'll notice that you get tens, if not hundreds of thousands of impressions where they see your logo, your URL, your favicon, your product, your name, your face, your voice, whatever, and then they start looking for you. And when they go to your main website, you want to make sure you're positioned to convert. So the very first thing is everybody on this call and everybody who watches this, kill the scrolling banner. There's something called banner blindness. It's a very real thing. And if I see a scrolling banner as a user, I will bounce. Here's what's interesting. We've added screen recording software. There's software out there, True Conversion, Hotjar, Lucky Orange, there's a bunch of them. We add screen recording software to websites and we watch what people do. You can actually see where they go, where they click, where their mouse hovers. It's super creepy. Every single time there's a scrolling banner, they immediately scroll down from the banner. However, if you have a hero image, meaning one really compelling image, preferably of a person, using your product in some way, that hero image ends up being the most compelling. And you want to make sure that your image has a really specific call to action. And the call to action, you don't need to be cute with it. You can just say, shop our catalog, whatever it ends up being. So this needs to be a hero image. And with Salty Suds, I imagine these are bath bombs. I don't know what this is yet. If I jump on, that could be like a really ugly sponge. That could be like a moldy, something or other. This could be space for all I know. I could be looking at, the close up in the Milky Way. That could be a cookie. So you want to make sure that when I land on the site, there's this really cool time humans attention span goldfish. Check this out. There's an article in Time magazine that says that human beings have a shorter attention span than a goldfish. And I think, if I'm not incorrect, a goldfish has an 8-second attention span, and human beings have a 7-second attention span, or something insane. When somebody lands on your site, you have 7 seconds to capture their attention. You have 7 seconds to make sure that they're not going to leave. They're going to qualify your site in 7 seconds. Make it as linear and as straightforward as possible. Look at my site, y'all. We split tested. Yvonne, who runs he's a technical head. We split tested with him. I don't know how many variations of this. But look at, this is basically written out on crayon. Like, here's us, here's you. We're using Google Ads to prop you up so that you're king of the world. You know what I mean? Like, you even if you don't take the time to stare at this image, you kind of know what it means. And then you instantly know what it is that we're offering. Look at any, I'm going to go to Boom by Cindy Joseph again just because they do such a good job. Look at any really well done e-com site, and you instantly know what it is that we're looking at, and look at the specific call to action that they're offering. You'll also notice, this is actually really interesting. This is funny, not funny. This brand is geared towards Boomers. This brand is geared towards women over 50. One of the big issues with women over 50 is eyesight, right? It's just tough. As you get older, you're not able to see as much. Look at how big everything is. Look at how big everything is. Like, what a brilliant attention to detail. That just means they know their avatar. They know their avatar so well. And look at this hero image. He doesn't have a scrolling banner. He's got one image. He has an insane number of products. He's got one image. He's marketing one thing. And then his clear call to action is see the tutorial. So Salty Suds, I don't know what you are just yet, depending on when I land. Give me one hero image that looks amazing. He doesn't have a person here. I'd rather see this image over there, by the way. I actually kind of disagree with the image they're using. I'm sure they're split testing too, but I'm just telling you, people help create an instant connection. And know who your avatar is. Spend some work doing your avatar. I think, do I have a video on this? I believe I do. Hold on. Let me go give you all some more value. I haven't recorded it. Yep, here we go. So I've got a video. It's a customer avatar workshop. And in the customer avatar workshop, I have a free worksheet that you can use to build your avatar and ask you a bunch of questions. Who are they? So like, who are these people really? Who do they engage with most? Who do they look up to? What are they afraid of? You want to get to know your customer to this level of depth. And then there's the avatar profile where you define, and this isn't a demographic, by the way, all this is a specific person. You're creating your ideal customer. What age they are, what their gender is, what their marital status, if they have kids, where they live, their favorite saying, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When you go in and you define what do they really want out of life. And nobody wants makeup, right? Nobody wants makeup. Nobody wants like wax coloring that they put on their face. They want to look beautiful. They want to be seen. They want to feel confident. You want to ask yourself, when you're selling salty suds, nobody wants suds. Nobody has ever woken up in the morning and thought like, gosh, I really want salty suds today, right? Like they want comfort, or they want relaxation, or they want peace. Ask yourself, what do they really want? The classic example from marketers' perspective is nobody buys a drill, they buy a hole. And the funny follow-up question to that is, well, what's your customer's hole? Ask yourself what your customer's hole is. What is it that you are really giving to them? And you'll notice that it almost always, if you do this properly, it almost always ends up being buttressed by emotions. People buy feelings. Nobody buys a Mercedes. Nobody. I don't care how much you love cars. Nobody's going to spend $100,000 on 4 doors and a steering wheel, regardless of how big that engine is. They want to feel powerful or free or successful. Ask yourself, what is it they really want? What do they value? What are the things what are their non-negotiables? The values at Solutions 8, what I teach my children, are truth, responsibility, and love. Those are the 3 most important things to us, in that order, by the way. Truth first, responsibility second, love third. And I have people challenge me on that all the time. And I'm not telling you that those are in order of importance. They're in order of chronology. Because without truth, love is blind. Without responsibility, love is impotent. So you need truth, responsibility, and love. Now that you know that about me, you actually know how to communicate with me a little bit better, don't you? Figure that out about your avatar. What are their values? What do they really need? And by the way, most people don't know what they need, right? So if you're in the fitness space, what somebody wants and what they need can be diametrically opposed. They probably need better nutrition. They definitely don't want that. I don't think any of us do, but they need it. So you need to figure this out. What hurts them? Where's their pain? What hurts right now? Where are their insecurities? I have insane imposter syndrome, and I think I always will. And now that you know that about me, it probably makes I'd be easier to sell to you, wouldn't I? What are the objections to the sales process? And this might be one of the most important things when it comes to specifically creating your ad copy, your creative. What's the transformation? What's the before and after? How easy is that for Boom by Cindy Joseph? Before this product, where were they, and where are they after the product? So for your product, for what you're selling, for what you're doing, answer these questions. What is the transformation you give to your customer? It's not a thing. You're helping to change their identity. And then we've got some other really cool questions here, just as far as sources of information. This helps with your targeting. And as you get to know your avatar better, I actually like to name them. And once you've named them, add additional details. You might find other things that you want to buttress this exercise with. Go online and pick a picture. Find a picture, a stock photo, or an actor or somebody. I don't like using anybody that I know. I'd rather use an image that I haven't been exposed to. And I actually, if you put these images up on your wall, especially when you're writing copy, I like to look at the person, and then I'll write my email copy or my ad copy, or, you know, if I'm shooting a video, I like to look at them, because you really want to internalize who this person is. And then this gets really touchy-feely, y'all, so forgive me, but I've got these 3 questions here. The very first one is important. Why do you love this person? I'm of the very strong opinion that you don't deserve to advertise to anybody you don't love. And if you don't like the word love, by the way, insert other word here. Care for deeply. Hope the best for. Jordan Peterson said love is just the wish that all things flourish. So I don't mean love, you know, from a romantic sense. I just mean like you want the best for them. I noticed that our viewers just dropped significantly, by the way. I just turned a whole bunch of people off. They're like, and I'm out. This got way too woo for me. That's okay. Why do you love this person? Why do you deserve to serve this person? Here's the other piece. When you're advertising, when you're selling your products, you need to earn it. You can't just sell crap. You can't throw a bunch of, and you know, I know there's some thought leaders out there that are selling you a different story. You can't just throw a bunch of junk in front of people and expect them to buy it. You have to have a unique selling proposition. There needs to be a reason to buy from you. Why do you deserve to serve? And by that doesn't mean that you can't drop ship, right? Just make sure you're sourcing the best products. Make sure you have a unique selling product. Make sure you have amazing customer service, awesome communication, better images, whatever it is. But you need to deserve it. And then the last one is why must you serve this person? This is one of my favorite, because here's the thing is, if you don't, someone else will. If I don't teach you how to run ads, somebody else will. And guess what? They're not as good as I am. They're not going to tell you the truth. They're going to try to sell you a bunch of courses that are absolute crap. They're going to put you in some revolving, you know, coaching program that doesn't do anything for you, just to keep you on the merry-go-round of giving them money. If I don't help you, somebody else that's less apt, less capable, knows less, isn't as integrous, is going to get their hooks into some of the folks that are in this program. So it's actually incumbent upon me to do that. You need to feel the exact same way. If you don't, somebody else will. So you absolutely must serve this person. Answer these questions for yourself. I'll post this video. I go through this in much, much, much greater detail. I'll post this video in the chat. You can find it in our YouTube channel too. The customer avatar workshop. You'll notice in the description, you can have this sheet for free. I like to do one worksheet for every distinct avatar. You might have multiple avatars, by the way. You could have, 3, 5, anything more than that. And I'd question how many businesses you have now. If you've got 30 avatars, you might have 10 or 15 businesses there that need to be split off a little bit more. But it depends. We're talking e-com, so it depends on the number of products. I've got some chats from the book, Breakthrough Advertising. Your most important goal is to enter into the conversation your potential customer is having in their mind. Man, what a brilliant point from Bohan. There's Bohan just being a freaking assassin again. Smartest dude in the whole wide world, I swear to God. That's a great note. I'm going to read that again. Your most important goal is to enter into the conversation your potential customer is having in their mind. That's awesome. I love that. And somebody else said, you're spank on point. Love your mindset. Thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Aaron Brown, love this. You're talking about topics 99% of agencies don't understand. I don't disagree with you, man. I really appreciate that compliment. And I'll tell y'all that, here's what's interesting is we're world authorities in Google Ads. We are considered by many people that know, by many elite business owners and marketers, as the best agency in Google Ads. The world authority in SEO refers this work to me. The world authority in e-commerce actually refer their work to me. I'm trying not to name drop, but I'm making a point here. It's not because we have buttons other people don't have, or we know all the tips and tricks and strategies that other people don't know. It's because we stick to sound business principles. I won't take a business if I don't think they can be successful. I won't help rep a product if I don't think that product will sell. It's really easy to come out looking and smelling like a bed of roses when I pick the winning horse. Right out of the gate, I'm going to be more successful because a client comes to me, and if you've got a crap product or service, I can't do anything for you. I'll talk to you about it. I'll try to help you fix it. Everybody who encounters, and this is the rule for my sales team, anybody who encounters us needs to be better off afterwards, regardless of whether or not they become a customer. But we turn business down all the time. If you have something that I don't think will sell, or I don't think will do well, or just needs a little bit of massaging, then we're going to explain that to you. And that's a really important part of running traffic. Y'all, traffic is truth. If you've run traffic to your store in the past and it hasn't worked, it's so funny for me when I hear people say like, oh, I tried Facebook ads and they didn't work. I'm like, really? Really? The trillion-dollar marketing mechanism that people I've actually actively watched. I watched a friend of mine spend just under $500,000 and make $11 million. I see his card. Facebook ads. I don't love Facebook. I actually despise Facebook with a passion of 1,000 fires. That's why I don't run Facebook ads professionally, except for some of our coaching client or our consulting clients. So I'm not here to sell you on Facebook ads, but I know they work. So anybody who says, "Oh, I tried Facebook ads and they didn't work," no, your business didn't work. Your product didn't work. Your targeting didn't work. Facebook puts messages in front of people. We know that for a fact. It works. That's how you're here. Most of you are here because you saw our Facebook ad, or at a minimum, you're now on Facebook, within our group. So if you run ads and it doesn't work, walking away and saying the advertising mechanism doesn't work to actually put you at a disadvantage. Instead, get kind of excited and think like, oh, okay, something. And honestly, sometimes it's just as simple as your messaging. Just your messaging didn't work. Tweak the message, tweak the image, tweak the video. Sometimes it's the offer. Sometimes the person you put the product in front of doesn't want this product. So find a different product or a different person. And it can be technical. Maybe the way you're segmenting these prospects is incorrect. We went for a while there. Me and my business partner had a product that we were trying to sell to chiropractors. And when I went into Facebook and I targeted people whose job description was chiropractors, it failed miserably. I couldn't get in front of anybody. But when we went in and we tried another segmentation where we targeted people who subscribed to this very specific chiropractic magazine, it worked great. So I was just in front of the wrong target. You can't say, oh, Google didn't work, Facebook doesn't work. We know they work because they've made hundreds of billions of dollars through these marketing mechanisms. And regardless of how you feel about capitalism, it's a meritocratic ecosystem where funds flow to the most efficient form, right? Like that's the way that it's structured. So we know the advertising works. It's incumbent upon you to take what it is that you're learning and use that to improve your business. Traffic is truth. So when we teach you these traffic strategies, we're also going to teach you how to interpret them. Because if you have let's say you have an amazing show rate and a phenomenal click-through rate, right? CTR, click-through rate. People see your ad and they click on it. Guess what? We probably have good targeting, good messaging. But what if they don't buy? Now we have an opportunity to diagnose, right? And this is what I'm talking about, getting excited. Get excited when things like that happen because you're like, oh, okay, I get to be a super sleuth. Here's what's really funny. We had a client. Oh, shoot. Did my live just die? Can y'all still see me? I hate it when this happens. Hold on. If you're still there, please hang tight. Can somebody chat at me if you can still see me? My computer just did something funky. While I'm waiting, somebody commented, working on your brand too much. Are you missing out? Been trying to produce a great product. Then you turn into a protectionist where you keep on to build your brand until you start reaching. Yeah, that's such a good point. Okay, someone said you're good. Cool. Sorry, y'all. I just had a weird kerfuffle. I just wanted to tell you this story. We had a client who sold a product. I thought it was amazing. It was for nurses. And what's interesting is they had a phenomenal click-through rate. They had great engagement. But when people got to the site, they didn't buy. And we didn't know why they weren't buying. We put live chat on the checkout page only. This was my business partner's idea. We put live chat on the checkout page only. It was coursework that we were selling, continuing education for nurses. And one of the most common questions that we got was, is this an in-person course or is it online? And what was funny is when we looked at the product description, we realized, oh my goodness, the client never actually put that on there. We didn't say if it was in person or online. So the minute we fixed that in the product description, it started to sell like crazy. Sometimes you just need to tweak something really small like that. So when you're driving traffic, if it's failing, get excited. Get excited because you have the opportunity to diagnose. Yeah, it sounds like I'm cutting in and out. I'm so sorry, y'all. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna go yell at Restream, who I use, by the way. Let's bash them just a little bit, lovingly so, because they're people just like other people, and I'm sure they're doing the best they can. But I will reach out to them and let them know that this isn't working. And I might just cut this then. I didn't get a whole lot in the way of submissions for the hot seats, which just makes me think that whoever's watching now probably didn't want it or need it. We did. I think we peaked at about 20 live viewers though, which is awesome on a Saturday. So really appreciate y'all watching. I'm going to be posting another video tomorrow, another interview. So grateful to everybody. I can't believe we reached 1,000 members in this group. That is amazing. That is so awesome. I'm so excited. and humbled and flattered. Let's change some lives, y'all. Let's really do this. So thank you for watching me live. Thanks so much for being part of this group. Thank you, everybody, for your patience while we're trying to contend with how big this thing has gotten. And I will see you Monday.